You've just seen an extraordinary performance by a group of people who love Israel. They are the Friends of the Church of Jesus Christ, and they are led by Pastor Teck.
Yes.
And I want to welcome you to this program.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's an
honor.
extremely remarkable, unique group of people, and we're going to find out more about it. I was just shocked the first time I came to the concert,
Okay.
and I saw that, I've taught Israeli folk dancing practically all my life, and here, these are Christian Filipinos doing
Hebrew
chorus,
songs, yes.
choreography, singing, and with such ecstasy, with such joy. Can you tell us exactly what your goals are and how this came about?
Well, actually, we have what we call the Israel ministry in our church. And this ministry is born out of our love for the God of Israel, because the God of the Bible is the God of Israel. And so we have, the highlight of this ministry is that we go up to Jerusalem year after year.
When?
During the Feast of Tabernacles.
Sukkot.
Yes. And so we go there. And,
Which is October.
It's October. Yeah, it is September, late September, October.
Every year.
Every year. Yeah, and we started going up to Jerusalem in 1996, and year after year. And
whose idea was that?
well, actually, it was started by our senior pastor in the Philippines, Rocky Canlas, and so she started it, and so
He started the idea, or did they actually go from the Philippines?
no, they
to
go
Israel?
from the Philippines. Actually, this year there will be about 32 of us from Canada to join. Members of our church in the Philippines.
And how many from the Philippines?
All in all, there will be about 50 of us.
And from the U.S.?
One or two from the States.
So Canada's very big.
Yeah,
relative.
Canada is the biggest, yes. And then we are about a couple from Japan, but the rest from the Philippines. And so we go up year after year. And so that's the highlight of our ministry as far as Israel is concerned, the pilgrimage. And then, because we have learned a lot of Hebrew songs and dances, so we started it here. So this will be our 10th, what we call an Israel Rejoicing Celebration.
These dances, is this just the Canadian group, or is that the group in the Philippines
No.
too? Is that the...
Just the Canadian group.
So that's the
From
unique...
your church?
Yes, from our church. And we have dancers as young as 6 years old. And we have a grandmother dancing too, and so that's how we show our love for Israel. So it's more than just saying I love you. So we actually go up to Jerusalem to attend the feast hosted by ICEJ.
The International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem.
That's right, yes, and that's where I met Donna Holbrook, the director of ICEJ.
And you
here.
perform in Israel as well? The group?
No,
Dancers,
no, we don't. Like it takes a while, for them to practice in there.
Okay.
So we don't have the time. But on the streets of Jerusalem, our dancers from time to time they dance while we are doing the march of Jerusalem.
Right. And you also have an event coming up here in Toronto at the Earl Bales Park.
That's right. That's in August the 22nd.
Tell us about that.
Well, again, this is how we want to bless God's chosen people here, the Jewish community. So we have year after year, for the last 10 years, we have it at the Earl Bales Park. So we invite people from the Jewish community and even from the Christian community. And we pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And then we also pray for the city of Toronto or Canada as a whole. And we present Hebrew songs. We learn this, for a few months.
You practice, you
we
rehearse.
Practice, we rehearse it, including the proper pronunciation of those, words. And then
Does anybody help you with it?
No, we just do it ourselves. As I said, my daughter had been coming with me to Israel year after year. And
Is that's your daughter that does the choreography
that's right,
that I
yeah.
met, this beautiful dancer?
That's right. That's my daughter.
How does it make you feel when you see other church groups, like last year the United Church of Canada was proposing sanctions against Israel, and recently we have Presbyterian Church in the U.S. We're considering boycotts of Israel. How does it make you feel when you see that?
Well, actually, we always align ourselves with Israel, and there are activities happening here that we join in, like to promote Israel and to support, like to stand with Israel.
It's terrific.
Yes, and that's how we show. So it's more than words that we do.
It was extraordinary, because I've been into your church, is that it's a total group endeavor. You make the costumes, you make the food.
That's right.
There isn't anything that is not touched by the hands of the congregation. Everybody gets into it.
That's right. It's actually, we call our church, it's more than just a church, like an organization. It's a family. So everyone is involved. So
where is your church located?
It's in Scarborough, Midland Avenue in Scarborough, here in Toronto. And so everybody's involved. Some are doing, like practice the dances. The non-dancers, they either sing or do the costumes. So we saw our own costumes and everything that we need.
Okay, I want to, Pastor Teck, I want to ask you about what it's like for the Filipino people living here in Canada and perhaps in other places, because I know that a number of them come here and their lives are not easy. They're running away from the Philippines, and sometimes they have to split up their families.
Yes.
We're going to take a short break, and then we'll ask you more about that. Hang in there. We're with Pastor Teck from the Friends of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Welcome back. My
Thank
question,
you.
Pastor Teck, is about life for the Filipino people. I know a lot of them come here to Canada.
That's right.
Some of them work closely with Jewish people as caregivers and different things. This is just my small view of the world. I mean, can you tell us what it's like for the Filipino people coming here? Because I do think that some of their families are split up, and it's not easy.
That's right. It's not actually easy. It's a big sacrifice for them. But again, there is a better life waiting for them here. And so, but the adaptation, Filipinos are good in adapting to new situations. So whether they work in a Jewish home or just a plain Canadian home, they can adapt. And more especially, we have a lot of Filipinos here also that came from Israel. They initially work in Israel, they come over here, and they speak the language, the Hebrew language.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so it's a lot easier for them to adapt. But it's a big sacrifice, but eventually it will pay off, because the sacrifice is just for a few years.
Right.
Yeah, after 3 years they can
So they
petition.
come here, let's say somebody gets sponsored, they work, and then they work to try and get their family over
That's
here.
right,
Is that
yes.
basically the idea?
That's basically the idea. Like
Yeah.
they can after 3 years, they can start the process of sponsoring their own family
Right.
to
And
join them here.
is a very big Filipino community in Toronto? I mean, how does Toronto compare with some of the other cities in North America, for example?
Well, in the States there's also a big Filipino community there, especially in California. But here in Canada, Toronto is the biggest.
It is the biggest.
Yes.
About how many?
Overall, well, not just the workers though, like Filipinos in general. There's about I think 200,000 here in
They can have their
Toronto.
own city, a little Manila.
Yes, we can have our own small Manila.
Generally, Filipinos are Catholic, aren't they?
Generally, yes. But there's also now growing number of evangelical Christians in the Philippines.
So this is your church. You're evangelical
Yes,
Christians.
that's
And you
right.
talk about the Israel ministry,
That's right.
which extends to all Friends of Jesus Christ churches in the Philippines. In the States?
Yeah, in the States we don't have a church, but we have members there that also is still
So it's the Philippines and Canada.
part, yes, Canada.
This outpouring of joy in the form of dance and music is a form of advocacy for
That's right,
Israel. It's a
yes.
form of showing your solidarity. Do you do any other work in advocacy for Israel?
Yes, we take every opportunity that we have to talk about it. Like every year, we also have here in Canada what we call the Global Day of Prayer, and part of that is to pray for Israel. And I take the opportunity to talk about it and how we should stand with Israel, we should bless Israel. And similar occasions, we do that. And more especially in the Philippines, our senior pastors would go around the country and gathering pastors and giving them a lecture about Israel, how churches should bless Israel, how they should respond to the call of God to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Because again, as Christians, we are commanded to bless Israel.
But not every Christian feels like that.
Not every Christian feels like that. Yes, it's true.
Far from
There's a growing awareness now because of what we're doing.
Are you evangelical? Is that your...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a growing awareness of
There
what
is
we're
a
doing.
growing awareness because not only us, well, we're just a small portion of it, but there are now a lot of evangelical churches that are aligning themselves with Israel.
How do Jews accept you? Are they suspicious of you? Because Christians don't exactly have a good track record
It's
for
true.
a couple of thousand years.
That's right.
Are they suspicious? Do they hold back?
Initially,
What's your-
when we were starting in, that was the case. Like they thought that we have another agenda,
To
a
convert them.
hidden
To
agenda.
convert them.
Yes,
That's
to
your
convert
hidden
them.
agenda.
Yes, but through the years, they came to know that that's not the agenda. It's really to bless Israel and to comfort, according to Isaiah 40, to comfort God's people. And what else? What a better way to comfort someone but to sing and dance before this
Right.
group of people.
Are some of them worried that you will try and convert them to become Christians?
Maybe in the past because they tend to withdraw every time that we have this kind of event.
Right.
But lately they have been coming and they have been inviting friends to come.
Right.
And so
But do you do that? Do you try and get Jewish people to become
no,
Christian? No, you don't.
we don't do
Okay.
that. Yes.
All right. Well, that's a great start because Jewish people can get their back up when,
I know,
when
I
you
know.
get into that conversation.
That's right.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's terrific that we have friends like you and your church. Seems to me there'd be a major opportunity in California. I mean, if you're citing California as
That's
a place
right.
where there's a big community,
Yes.
and you've got a big contingent of people here that are going on this
That's right.
annual trip to Israel.
Yes.
That there could be an opportunity for your church to expand into the U.S. and in
Hopefully
California.
we can do that. Yes.
Are you looking to do that? Are you
Well,
wanting to do that?
part of the plan is really because we have dancers. Maybe we can have a tour with these dancers.
Great idea.
Yes, and as U.S. cities and even Canada, and then present these dances and songs. It could be again a ministry that we can have, expanding our reach.
Yes, well, that's
Yes.
terrific. I mean, JLTV, who's one of the our major carrier, is based out of LA. So if you're planning
Oh,
a trip there, maybe we'll get you into the studio there to talk to some of the people and see if they can help you with some PR for
That's
that.
right. Yes, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, sounds
Yes.
like a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the concert,
Mhm.
August 22nd,
Yes,
at Earl Bales Park.
that's right.
We'll be looking forward to more expansion of this idea of reaching people's hearts and minds through music and dance.
That's right. Yes.
I think it's a marvelous idea, and it's working because you're gaining the trust, you're gaining people. Do people come to your church because of this activity?
Yes, they do come.
They're attracted to it.
Yes, yes, and whenever we have a special event in the church, and we even invite Jewish friends, they come. Yeah,
Yeah, and the website is
friendsofjesuschrist.com.
friendsofjesuschrist.com.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much
Oh,
for
it's a
being with us.
pleasure.
And break a leg for the concert.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Delighted to have you with us. That's our show for today. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to be a mensch.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.